Welcome back, beautiful travelers. I'm very excited to be filming today's video because I feel like I haven't filmed for a video in a couple of weeks or something. I low-key had some resistance, but I was like, no, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Anyway, I have been working up to being ready to do this video the last couple of days, and today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized. I got enough sleep, so I'm in a good mood. Okay, if you're tuning into my channel for the first time, my name is Stef. I love giving people travel advice on all things Peru so that they just have really great experiences. They know what to expect. They know how to plan and prepare for their trips. So if you're planning a trip to Peru and you're interested in learning more about and connecting more deeply with Peruvian culture, then be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can follow my channel and get updated on all this content on Peru, and also hit the bell notification button and change your settings to all so that you're always notified of when a new video goes up. I try to post every Monday and Thursday. In today's video, I have another museum video. So if you've been catching my playlist on museums in Lima and things to do in Lima, I will link it up here in case you missed it. Oh wait, I have to point in this direction. Oops. See, it's been a minute since I recorded a video. I don't know which place to point at. Anyway, it's over here. But I have a playlist on museums that you can visit here in Lima, and I have shared in those videos. I'm not really a museum girly. I don't mind museums. I just want a guided tour. But then usually you don't get guided tours right away unless like you plan in advance. So that's why I share the information that I do, and I give you the information you need so you can plan and prepare in advance and you don't just show up like me and have to walk around by yourself. But anyway, in one of my last videos on the free walking tours that you can find here in Lima, Peru, if you haven't watched those yet, I'll also link the playlist up here for you to catch afterwards. During the foodie walking tour, I talked about at the very end how they dropped me off at this free museum, and today's video is all about that museum. So yay! Today's museum video is all about el Museo del Banco Central de Reserva del Perú, also known as el MUCEN. At the very end of this video, I'm going to leave you with a quick little vlog of what the museum experience is like so you can see if that's what you would like to do for yourself. But I want to give you some interesting and fun facts and just information that you might need in case you plan on visiting this museum. This museum is found in the historical city center of Lima, Peru, and is found at the corners of Girón Lampa and Girón Ucayali. If you are near the main square in the city center, right outside of the government palace, which is where the presidents usually reside, then this museum is very nearby. And this building that the museum is now found in was originally created to be the headquarters of the Central Reserve Bank of Peru in March of 1922. The construction of this building was carried out by an American company called Fred T. Lay and Company, and it's this American company that was also in charge of building or constructing other famous buildings in the area. In particular, I want to highlight El Hotel Bolivar, which is this famous hotel in the city center of Lima that's really known for their pisco sours. I don't drink alcohol anymore, as many of you guys know who follow me actively. But if I find people to go with one of these days, I will go and do a video on El Hotel Bolivar for you guys so you can know what it's like, what to expect, and just have that little video. If you're really passionate about architecture, or maybe you're an architect yourself and you appreciate beautiful buildings, then you definitely have to visit this museum because the building truly is beautiful. And I don't know a whole lot about these kinds of things, but I know what looks good. I have good taste. This building was designed by the American architect A.C. Bosom from New York, and it was designed in an academic style. It's a classic and formal building with a large iron door, Corinthian columns, large windows. And when you go into the first floor doesn't have any columns holding up the next floor because apparently it has like a steel ceiling or something. And then the ceiling design of the first floor itself is really impressive. The floors are made of marble, the railings are made of bronze, and downstairs in the basement where they have the pre-Columbian art, there is a safe there, which is really cool to see, like those old school bank safes. And then when you walk into the building, you'll see like the little steel frame bank teller pods. I don't know what to call them, but back in the day when the bankers used to work there, they had their little security steel framed pod things, and that's pretty cool to see as well. Listen, you guys know I have been in Peru way too long and my vocabulary is kind of weak now. but y'all understand what I'm trying to say. What is the word for where the bank tellers work from? What is that thing called? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you. I only need one person to tell me. Everyone else, please thumbs up that one comment that responded to all of us. The building started being constructed in 1922, right? And it was inaugurated in 1929, where the Central Reserve Bank of Peru occupied this bank for more than 50 years up until 1979. In 1979, that's when the leaders of the bank decided to transform the bank into a museum in order to really safeguard the art collection and other pieces that the bank had acquired over the years. The people at the museum wanted to make the space a place for institutional projection and dissemination of culture, whatever that means exactly. I'm trying to translate from Spanish to English. So they hired the historian Carlos Rodriguez Saavedra and these other like 3 or 4 architects to come together and plan for the design of the museum and any renovations that needed to be made to the building so that they could, formally create this museum and house these art collections and other items. The museum officially opened its doors in January of 1982, and it's been there ever since. And we get to visit this museum for free, which is really cool because by now I've gone to a number of museums, and most of the time to visit museums that house these kinds of pieces, you either have to pay like a ticket fee of anywhere from maybe like 15 soles to 30 plus soles to go and see these places. So if you're a budget traveler or you don't feel like spending money to go to these other places, then you can visit this museum because it houses an extensive collection of different works of art that are really interesting. According to their website, the museum is open from Tuesday through Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And when you go visit this museum, there are 3 salas or rooms in English that you can visit. So down in the basement, you will find pre-Columbian art. And on the first floor, the floor that you walk into when you first step into the museum, that is the floor for traditional art. And then the second floor upstairs is all about like paintings and that type of art, right? And you'll find things from pre-Columbian times to all the way to like 19th, 20th century, 21st century, maybe even. That's what the website says, but I don't recall 21st century things, but maybe there are like some recent artists. So they have some like recent paintings from artists of these times probably. People, I had a good flow going for me. I was just making these clips for this video when all of a sudden I noticed my mic died and now I forgot where I left off. I believe I was talking about the many different artifacts that this museum houses. So they have pre and post-Columbian art, jewelry, clothes, paintings, etc. There's so many cool things that you can find here, and the overall feel of the building, it just feels luxurious to me. I don't know if y'all know this, maybe some of y'all who follow me on Instagram, but I'm a spiritual bougie girl. I like the fine things in life. I was born to be rich, and one day, people, I'm gonna be super rich. But anyway, oh my goodness, these messages. Anyway, the point is, I really liked how the building, it just made me feel really rich because it's just a beautiful, well done, luxurious building. And you just find so many different cool things there, from the Spanish times when there was like Spanish colonization and stuff, and like old spoons and coins and things like that. Oh my goodness, telephone. Hopefully I stop getting messages. Back to what I was saying. People be interrupting me when I make these videos. Yeah, you find all kinds of cool things in the basement with the pre-Columbian art and stuff, like all different types of pottery and just items from those times from different civilizations. And they have like these little things that tell you like, oh, this art is from this civilization and it existed during this time and it was present in this location or whatever. So I thought that was really cool. Also, you have the paintings upstairs that depict how it was back in the day when there was like Spanish rule here, and when people were trying to fight for their rights here, the indigenous people, or they were trying to fight for independence from Spain. So you find cool things there as well. And then like when you're leaving the museum towards the end, when you're passing by the little stall thingies where the bank tellers used to work, whatever that word is, if you go in there, you'll see like old banknotes and coins from back in the day that they used to use as currency. So that's really interesting. Although low key, I have a bit of a problem with this because let me tell y'all people, okay, this is my channel and I'm gonna give my opinions. as well as sharing the facts. Why am I hyper today? I think it's because I had a couple of sugar cookies. And sugar is not good for you people, but on occasion, I will eat from time to time some sugary things. I think it gave me a boost of energy. The point is that my problem with history is that the whites are always everywhere. And I love white people, okay? To all the white people in the audience, I don't discriminate. I'm here for you too. But as a brown person, a person with clearly like indigenous features, an indigenous background, who has become more aware and awakened to the history of my ancestors, because I was really disconnected from that growing up in the US. It's a whole long story. Like, I was assimilated, I was whitewashed in the US, and I've gone through this whole journey, and I'm still continuing to go on this journey of reclaiming my identity as a Latina, as a Peruvian person of indigenous background. I don't even know why I'm getting emotional, but it's just so frustrating how here in Peru you see so much colorism and racism still from those times. It's still dragging on until today. And so anyway, before I go off on a really long tangent on this topic, maybe we'll discuss this one day on a YouTube live, okay? Because the purpose of this video was to share with you the museum stuff. A lot of the coins and bills and things from the museum really showcase like white people, white Latinos, white Peruvians. And you know, they say that history is told by the victors or something like that. Like, whoever ends up winning, they tell their version of the events. And as I've been going around these museums and learning more about Peruvian history myself, because I didn't grow up here, I didn't grow up learning this stuff, and I'm still learning it till today, and it's still taking me a minute. Even though I keep learning the same things over and over again, it's taking a minute to register in my brain. Who is San Martin again? Who is Simon Bolivar again? Like, I'm getting there, people, okay? To the Peruvians who know their history, listen, be patient with me. Where was I going with this? So yeah, so a lot of the bills and the coins and stuff mostly depict the white Latinos, white Peruvians, white historical figures, and I have an issue with that, because I'm like, where are my Incan looking people at? Like, we need to have more of their faces on these coins and bills. And even today, they need to like come out with new bills that like highlight our ancestors and our history in these ways. Anyway, that is my random tangent for today. Thank you for being here if you're still here and I didn't scare you off. I'm a very passionate person, and I'm all about equality. I'm an Aquarius, okay? I'm all about humanitarianism, equality, not letting people feel like outcasted or whatever. So I think it's really important that the culture here shifts to highlight more indigenous people, because we need to see ourselves, more of ourselves, like reflected in a lot of things today, to know that we are worthy and deserving to be who we are, and we don't need to be lighter skinned or have any proximity to whiteness necessarily to finally be good enough, because that unfortunately is the mindset that a lot of people were raised with, you know, my grandmother included. We're opening up a discussion already, going off in a whole nother direction. Feel free to comment and have this conversation with me in the comments below if you feel called to. Yeah, my grandmother was also raised with this mentality of, you know, white is better. I don't agree with that. And I think we need to see more beautiful indigenous faces on advertising here, on our notes and other things, so that people can be reminded that their natural indigenous beauty is beautiful and it's worthy, and it deserves to be recognized. So anyway, these are my random thoughts on this today. Oh my goodness, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. And I think this is a really cool museum, regardless of all the white faces on all those banknotes. You know, grateful to the white ancestors too, who helped us get our independence from the Spanish. All I'm saying is we should all be equally recognized, not just some more than the others. That's all I'm saying. So these are my thoughts on this museum and other topics, clearly, when it comes to skin color and race and personal identity. And yeah, I think that this is a really great museum to visit. It took me, I think, 2 hours or 2.5 hours actually to go through the museum in its entirety without the extra exhibition that is apparently available. And that's because I took my time. I'm sure other people could go through the whole museum in an hour maybe an hour and a half. But, you know, I'm busy recording and I'm busy taking my time from place to place, just really taking things in and connecting with the different pieces and really thinking about the fact that there were real people who created these things and that this is what's left from our ancestors, you know, the Europeans and the indigenous. And like these are the things that they use in their everyday life. This is how they saw themselves, etc. So anyway, all of that to say that depending on how you tend to go through museums, you might take just an hour to go through the whole thing, or 2 hours or 2.5 hours, because there's a lot to see. And it's a really great museum, I think, especially because it's free. Okay, we all love free things. All right, guys, so enough of my shenanigans for one video. This is what happens when I don't record for like a couple weeks. I have so much to say. And if you were here for it, please give this video a thumbs up, as that lets me know that you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed my presentation, my take on all things Peru. Drop me a comment down below on whatever you just feel to speak about in regards to this video, or things that I had to share on my personal views. Let's just have a conversation, the dialogue, respectfully. Okay, we need to learn how to have respectful conversations online, even though we have a difference of opinions. Some people don't know how to do that. I don't understand this. Let's evolve, please. And anyway, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so. Hit the bell notification and change your settings to all. Also, be sure to check out the playlist that I mentioned earlier here at the corner. And to stay in touch with me, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok as Evolving with Stef. My social media links will be in the description of this video. On my social media, I just talk about myself, my life, my experiences. It's not necessarily travel related. And as always, stay curious, keep traveling, keep exploring. I'll see you in the next video, and I'm going to leave you with a little vlog style video of this museum to end this video. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.